guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in sunny Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? We have one of those icons from Chevrolet that's been around for so many years. This is a 2020 Chevrolet Malibu. This one is an RS trim. But before we get into this 2020 Malibu, let's take it back to where it all started. First of all, how long has Chevrolet been around? It seems like they've been around forever. They've been around since 1911, if you could believe that. The Chevrolet Malibu first hit the streets all the way back in 1964. And it was one of those very popular cars that so many people have memories of growing up in. Chevy Malibu continues to this day. Now, this being a 2020, there are some changes, but the big changes were actually for 2019. Totally reworked the front fascia, the headlights, the rear fascia, the wheels, and they added the RS trim. Now, RS trim is a trim that's very specific to Chevrolet. What does RS stand for? It stands for Rally Sport. And what the trim basically shows off is exterior touches. It's not a high performance, not like SS. There's no Chevy Malibu SS today. There used to be, but not today. This Rally Sport, though, is going to take the best of both worlds to give you a midsize that economically is going to be a big bang for the budget, but also give you some of that Rally Sport styling touches. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 Malibu RS and see really, is it a mid-sized competitor to go up against the big names, the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry, and the Hyundai Sonata, and of course, don't forget that Mazda 6. Right off the bat, you'll see that new styling I was telling you about. They revamped the headlight housing, blacked everything out. I do like the way that they went with a projector beam style headlight in there. A little bit of chrome trim, and what I like about the trim is how it extends inside the actual housing. Now you drop down, get a little bit more of chrome with the exterior lighting. One of my zonks though has got to be this. What is this? I don't know if it's trying to look like a vent. It's all one piece with the lower lip of the front fascia. So I am going to zonk that. It would be nice if that was just all red or just smooth, to be honest with you. When we get though to the center stage of the front fascia, you have that black bow tie. Remember, traditionally it's a gold bow tie, but with the RS badge, this is that specific grille you're gonna get, horizontal gloss black, and of course you got a little bit of flat black along the bottom there that goes from one side to the other. Now when we get up onto the hood, one of the things I do really like about the styling is the way that they take the body line, go from the front fascia into the hood. It's very prominent, and then it fades away as you go closer. You have two nice peaks on each side so that when you're behind the wheel, gives you good visual reference points. We come around the bend. This is new for 2020. So this is a new style wheel for the RS, machined aluminum, gloss black with the matching black bow ties. I'm glad that they do that, because on some of the other models, they still do a gold bow tie on the wheel. It's nice to have all one cohesive design going on. But if you're wondering, well, what is the size of this wheel? This is a nice 18-inch wheel, and you're looking at 245 on the width, 45 series on the sidewall. Now, when we go into the fender, no venting or any stick-on things from a J.C. Whitney catalog or from AutoZone. It's a nice, clean look. You have color match mirror caps with a little bit of flat black to kind of tie in the flat black theme from up front. The Malibu name, to me, seems like it sits a little high, so I'm gonna zonk that, but it is blacked out for the RS trim package. Silver trim along the top and the bottom, a little bit of gloss black, but you do have color match door handles, which is a nice touch, kind of blends it all in. We keep working our way back. You can see how the roof kind of slopes down. You do have, what's interesting, a third brake light actually integrated into the roof line, which is an interesting touch. You really don't see that very often. You're gonna get your rear trunk mounted spoiler on the RS. There's your RS badge. Now my question to Chevrolet is, why is this badge not up front? It should be located in the grille area to let you know from front to back that this is a Rally Sport. Now we drop down, there are those updated taillights. You do have, let's see, we're gonna do the 5-finger test. Yes, so this is a decorative trim, but you actually have exhaust on both sides of the rear bumper area. Just simple flat black, that's all you need. I do like the way they black out the Malibu badge, the blacked out bow tie, and you can see from this angle, the spoiler has a nice kick up to it. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Malibu RS. All right guys, hood is popped. There is a prop rod. I am gonna zonk that. Underneath the hood though, you do get 2 engine options when you go Malibu. The challenge is that you can't get the larger engine on the RS trim. So I am gonna zonk that. But what we are looking at on the RS is a 1.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 163 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. Another thing that I'm scratching my head about is that for 2019, when they did the light refresh, they got rid of the 6-speed automatic and they gave us a CVT. 0 to 60, don't get ready to jump up and down and celebrate. 0 to 60, 9.3 seconds. The good news is you're getting 29 mpgs in the city, 36 on the highway, and the Malibu weighs around 3,135 pounds. Now, if you go the 2-liter route, you're gonna be getting a lot more horsepower, but you have to go up to that Premier trim and you don't get the nice RS touches. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what Malibu is bringing to the table. All right, guys, we're inside the Malibu RS. Remember, we're talking about, is this the most budget-friendly midsize when you're going up against the Mazda 6, the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry, the Hyundai Sonata? I would say Ford Fusion, but those are kind of on their way out. How much is this? I'm sure you're probably asking yourself. MSRP is right around $25,000. That's for the RS trim. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, I'm a little confused. There's a lot of this cloth that starts on the armrest, which the armrest is hard as Plymouth Rock, where the Pilgrims came and landed with the Mayflower. And the design is kind of dated. It's very hard plastic up top, and the rest of the door is just very hard plastic. I think you probably could set sail on the door panel because it's so solid of hard plastic. Now, the pocket down there is great because you could put your Yoo-hoo, you could line up some Twinkies, but other than that, looks a little dated. Now, when we get to the dash, here's where I'm really scratching my head. Now, I do like the silver trim. I do like the design of the dash. What is going on here? They took the cloth from the door panel and they brought it inside to the dash. I am zonking this. This is really, really bizarre, to be honest with you, and I don't understand. Now, maybe if you're the type of person that lets your passengers put their feet up on the dash, which you shouldn't do that, but if you do, they got a nice, comfortable area to put their feet. But other than that, nah, I'm not buying it. You do have an 8-inch, which I just touched the screen, 8-inch touchscreen system. I'll go back to home. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is wonderful. You do have your Wi-Fi hotspot capability, the AC vents. But this is, I'm sure many people are putting in the comments right now, this looks like a rental car. That's what I'm feeling. Standard AC controls with that cloth. It's weird. I've never really seen cloth on a dash before. We drop down. They do give you a nice little pocket down here for Skittles. You can taste the rainbow for the RS. Maybe the R in RS stands for rainbow on this one. You do have the ability to shut off your traction control. Nice large button. You're not going to miss that. Key fob. Here is your standard key fob for the Malibu. You flip it around. You have your trunk release. It's got a nice weight to it. It's got the black plastic. Probably not going to scratch too bad. I do like this. Now, why? This silver trim is nice. Take this, put it here. Why they have it just here? But I do like that it's here. 2 cup holders. This is going to control that CVT transmission with the simulated gears. You have another little pocket here for just a couple circus peanuts. You can probably put like 2 emergency circus peanuts. Harder on the armrest. We open it up. The good news is that if you got to store some Twinkies, that's a great place to store them, right there in the center console. Seats, they're comfortable, but they look very dated. The cloth seems like it's durable, just the design makes it look older. You do have manual controls for the passenger, electric controls, which is nice, power assist for the driver over here. But why don't you come on over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Malibu RS. All right, guys, behind the wheel, here's your switch gear for your power assist, which is really nice. I do like the size of the dead pedal. I definitely got to give it to Chevrolet for a nice size dead pedal. Steering wheel, it's the same thing. It just looks dated. You have your Game Boy buttons, so you could do your little process to get unlimited lives in Contra. You do have the shiny silver chrome, which is nice. The steering wheel does have a nice thickness. I'll give them that. And the leatherette material feels really, really good. Dash, very simplistic, but easy to understand. You have the tack analog speedometer, fuel gauge, and coolant gauge. And then you have that digital display. I almost forgot what to call that because it reminds me of something that I had on my Casio back when I'm in 5th grade. But you do have the ability to scroll through different information, trip, range, and all that. Why don't we go ahead, let's get to the back seat though, and see how your passengers are gonna like this midsize. All right guys, we're in the back seat of the Malibu. The good news is that, you know, just like up front, I had plenty of headroom and shoulder room. There's plenty of room back here. I'm 6 feet tall. I have lots of space. The seats are comfy. You do get 2 pockets, so each passenger can have their own Twizzlers stored. The nice thing is you do get a 12 volt. So we've been in some of those other companies that I've mentioned with their midsize and they don't give you anything. You do at least get a 12 volt, no rear AC vents. So I am gonna zonk that. I think at $25,000, we could have some rear AC. No armrest back here. So my advice is take your kid sister and use her as an armrest because there's nowhere else, unless you're just gonna sit here like this, to put your arm. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo space and see how usable this Malibu is. All right guys, time to check out the trunk, see what kind of junk we could throw back there. You hit the button, nice release, you open it up. Now, the opening is a little on the tighter side, but the good news is those seats are gonna do the 60-40 Tango split. You have the nice handles to just flap those down. And the good news is too, is that the depth is really nice to get something a little bit taller. Once you get it past the opening, it could be a little bit taller depending on what you're trying to take with you on your travels. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this RS for a spin. All right guys, we're in the 2020 Chevrolet Malibu RS. We left Dimmitt Chevrolet. One thing I've noticed right off the bat is that it's taking me a little bit of a while to kind of get situated with the driver's seat. I feel like I'm kind of sitting too low in the car and I keep raising it up and it really doesn't seem to be helping much. So just something to take into consideration. Some people like that low laid back riding position, other people don't. The good news is that the dash, the material that it's made out of, does not cause any glare, which is nice. Still creeped out by the cloth fabric on this RS trim. They could have went with so many different pieces of material. I don't know why they chose that. The good news is that new 8-inch infotainment system screen, easy to see, easy to get to, and very nice clear graphics on it. The armrests are at a good height. They're just on the harder side. And like I said, the steering wheel, the thickness is great. It's just not the best wheel to look at. Like, it doesn't make your heart pitter-patter when you stare at it. So something to take into consideration. Looking out the back window though, it's clear as day. You don't even see the spoiler on this RS trim whatsoever. CVT, you do have the simulated gears, and just driving around town, you're gonna get a smooth transition as you go, as the belts stretch out and whatnot. You're gonna get a smooth transition driving down the road. Still wish that this had the 2-liter turbocharged engine. All right, guys, let me go ahead and get on throttle a little bit, show the acceleration, the simulated gears. You can hear the transmission as if it was going through a set of gears. Like I said, 0 to 60 in about 9 seconds is not the quickest, but that's not the intention, obviously, of this midsize sedan. It's to give you some style, but also give you some big value. And that's really where you got to look at price point. You know, you make sure that when you're shopping for your midsize, you're comparing apples to apples and not apples to bananas or pickles or something like that, which can get easily done very fast. But sitting in traffic, the seats are comfy. I'll give them that much. The seats are very, very comfortable, and visibility is great. The mirrors are a little small, but overall, nothing too bad when it comes to being able to see around your blind spots and whatnot. But going down this road, steering feel is light. You don't have different drive modes or anything like that. So the steering is very, very light. Throttle feels good. And it's got a nice smooth ride. That's for sure. All right, guys, on throttle again. It's interesting because it actually feels quicker than what it says on paper. So that's one good thing, is that with the sensation, you're actually going to feel like it's not doing 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds, but going through this little twisty bit of road here, just has a good ride. I definitely have to commend them on the ride quality. Wind noise isn't too bad, and road noise isn't too bad either. I would really like to do a back-to-back with the Camry, with the Accord, with the Mazda 6 and this, to really see how they drive one after the other. But like I said, if you're looking for something value-wise, budget-friendly wise, and something that they have tons of incentives and rebates to move these off of dealership lots, the Chevy Malibu, especially the RS trim, might be the right one for you. But we're gonna go ahead, hopefully this gave you an overall nice feel of what this car is all about. We're gonna go ahead and get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet, so I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, been another great day here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. Definitely gotta thank Raheel and Eli for getting us access to this 2020 Malibu RS. Is it a competitor for the big names in this segment? I'm gonna say when it comes to price point, especially if you could get some incentives, you could probably walk out of this location right around $20,000 for this mid-size car. Does it have all the other things that the others have? I would like to see a little bit more, especially with the RS trim. But if it's mid-size like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. I got to give a big hug and just a squeeze to Tom, working that camera like a champ. Thank you for your hard work, Tom, and just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.